Boy, it's levels to this game, y'all acting frail. Go-karts in my lane, then I'm cracking shells. This time last year, I was packing shells. Now it's rap and vocals, I'm a package deal.
What's going on, everybody? This has felt like an eternity since the last Marvel show, but we are finally here. Loki episode 1 was absolutely flames in my opinion. I'm gonna try and stay away from too many spoilers just in case you haven't seen it, since for whatever reason they thought they should upload this show on Wednesdays and not Fridays. But again, this right after the whole Falcon and Winter Soldier show, this is putting me back in a similar mind frame as WandaVision. You have a lot more mystery to this show. It was action, but you're not getting like big, long, drawn out choreographed fight sequences. It's a couple of bops over the head here and there, but enough to get you from point A to point B story-wise. It's picking up technically from the first Avengers, but also technically from Endgame. Just that's all I can say without ruining it for you if you haven't seen it. But don't worry, we will get into spoilers for those who have seen it later. The cast is not really that big so far, but Tom Hiddleston is great. Acting is on point, same as always. You get a few callbacks to movies, a lot actually. And Loki he gets humble in this show quite a bit. And humble is not usually a word that's associated with that character. So this is extremely interesting. It's an extremely interesting take on the character for me, because I'm used to seeing Loki. I mean, unless he dealing with Thor, he's usually in a different league than everybody else. I was gonna say on screen, but in the page. So far so good. I'm loving the direction because, again, and hopefully we all learned our lesson from WandaVision as far as predictions are concerned, but I see the potential for this one falling even further off the rails than the last, because it's a lot of time travel going on. They hinting at not even hinting, they say multiverse a few times, so it's like, oh man, we might get but I'm holding off. Hopefully everybody does, because you see what happened to us last time. So I'm not going to get my hopes up for anything. I'm going to try my best to just enjoy the ride. And I also will say, honestly, this whole TVA, the time variant authority or whatever it's called, I don't know these characters. The only character that I know so far is Loki. So this is great. I'm not about to research them or nothing. I want this to unfold in front of me, because normally I'm watching it from a different viewpoint where it's like, okay, I hope they do this and I hope they do this. But this time I'm kind of going in blind and I like it. So that's it. For spoiler free, I'm gonna give it from a scale of 1 to 10. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with a 10. I did not have any complaints. Everything's looking great. That's it. If you haven't seen this show, don't watch the rest of this video. Full spoilers from here. Now, what I want to see in the comments, who do you think had the better emotional breakdown scene? Tom Hiddleston or Sebastian Stan? Because they both had a pretty, as far as these Marvel TV shows go, they both did a pretty convincing tearjerker scene in their respective TV shows. I'm not sure who I'm picking. It's honestly like pretty even, but I'm interested to see what y'all think. My wife said Bucky for sure, but as she said also that because it's Bucky, so I mean unfair judgment, but let me know what y'all think. But aside from that, I love that they took away Loki's powers in that whole office, and they made it just seem like such a office cubicle day-to-day work routine building. So it's unsuspecting for this to be filled with potentially extremely powerful individuals. So Loki gets there and he's trying to do all of this, his usual, no, I'm gonna take over the joint, and it's like nothing works. I love the whole rewinding time aspect of the little button, the clicker that he had for the belt around his neck. It was putting him in his place repeatedly, and it's hilarious. The show is actually hilarious. Loki was already, kind of funny before, but again, it's his show, so it's all dialed to 11. And this show has the unfair advantage of time travel, because they instantly hooked me with that intro, which is something we seen the entire. They didn't even show us anything different with the whole Avengers going down the elevator and safely transporting the Tesseract and all of that. We seen all of that in Endgame, but for some reason seeing it again here in the context of this show, I was like, oh my God. Like, it was, I really liked all of that. And then the whole breakdown scene where he had to, Loki had to watch himself do all of these things that technically he hadn't done yet, because this is 2012 Loki from Avengers 1. We just sat there and watched clips of Marvel movies, and it's like, this is brilliant. And it makes me wonder how much was all of this actually planned this exact way? As far as scripts for these movies and all that, did they have all of this, even the TV shows, already planned out? Or is it kind of like, hey, it'd be cool if we did this? Because the MCU is just almost perfectly crafted together so far. Like, some of it just feels like couldn't be coincidence, because it all lines up too good. And then I love the oversimplification of such astronomically ridiculous concepts. Because time travel is always ridiculous, but then they give you this simple little cartoon where it's like, yeah, so if you're traveling here, you don't want to step out of your spot, because you might end up in any one of these little traffic lanes, and it's just turns into a big mess. And then you end up with a multiverse because you keep multiplying. And it's like, oh, okay, I see what you mean there. Instead of the usual plot holes and loopholes that never get explained. I'm sure you could still, it's a comic book, so it's got to be easy ways to poke holes in the theories, but that's only if you want to, because they made it, at least in my opinion, this is extremely palatable, so you can follow along. But I do not know any of these other characters. I'm assuming we're gonna get, which in the comics there have been numerous different at least visual representations of Loki. So I want to see this is just, if I get to pick the ones I get to look at, I want to see the like ugly one where like he's got teeth missing in the front and stuff. I want to see the girl Loki. I want to see little kid Loki, because that one has been like the only one that's good, kinda. And then it's still kinda like, if I ever learn anything from this character throughout reading, is you can never ever trust him. Even when he does something good, it's still like, I don't know. So I'm interested to see how that plays out in this show, because so far they're kind of they're building him up as an anti-villain, almost like, not anti-villain, anti-hero, because they're asking him for help. Now it's help against himself. They said he was the one that they're looking for that keeps messing up other timelines, which of course he is. Yeah, that's right up his alley. So I love that. But yeah, I I want to see where this goes. I also love the whole idea that the TVA is out of Loki's league. Like, this is above his league, I should say, because he went and asked that guy for the Tesseract back, right? And he's like, oh yeah, here you go. And I was thinking, this guy's an idiot. He's gonna get fired. Why would you even give him that? But then he opens the drawer and it's just like doubles of Infinity Gems in the drawer. And I'm like, what? Okay, so this stuff is worthless here. Like, he's looking at it like, oh, why do you guys have these? He's like, oh, we actually get those a lot. People are using them for paperweights. So it's like, okay, so that's why you handed me this. It's a toy as far as you're concerned. So that's interesting to see Loki almost powerless. And even still, he proved that he was dangerous because they laughed at his whole God of Mischief shtick or whatever. But you see, he stole that thing off of my man's whatever. I don't know if he took it out of his pocket or what, but he took the little time reverse remote. So it's like, I am still dangerous at all times, and that's still good for somebody like me, because I didn't want to see Loki just get like punked. I didn't want him to be like nerfed in a sense. So it's good to see that Loki is still, no matter what, Loki is still Loki. He's always a threat. But I'm interested to see how in the heck is he ever going to help anybody do anything. So I wish this wasn't coming out on Wednesday, but I am so excited for episode 2. And let me know what y'all think. Make sure, just debut these on the channel. Make sure you subscribe as the shirt instructs. And if you like this shirt, you can go and get it off of my website, nerdstuff.com. But even if you don't, this is kind of my business card. Nobody uses those anymore, but do what it says, and you might win a PlayStation or something. But other than that, leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.